to Work Day, organized by our wonderful leadership classes. This event provided children with valuable insights into school operations while giving our leadership students practical experience, very practical, working with little children all day, in event planning and execution, provided for exhausted teenagers and exhausted little ones. It was quite the day. Athletic achievements. Our athletic programs continue to flourish with daily practices and competitions. Currently, we have active teams in girls soccer, boys baseball, girls softball, track and field, lacrosse, girls flag football, and golf. The dedication of our student athletes and coaches exemplifies our commitment to excellence in all areas of student development. Student recognition. To celebrate academic excellence, we recently hosted a special recognition event for our Quarter 3 Dean's List students and our highest level crew card recipients. A gelato truck visited campus, offering a sweet reward for these outstanding achievements. These celebrations reinforce our culture of recognizing and valuing academic success and positive behaviors. I thank you guys for your continued support of our students, staff, and programs. We invite you to visit our campus to witness firsthand the remarkable learning environment that we have cultivated. I thank you for your time this evening. Again, Trinity Cavalier, I'm a proud teacher and a student advocate at High School North, and I also feel safe going to work each day. Thank you. Michael Lynch.
Hello, my name is Michael Lynch of 24133 Harrison Township. I'm a 28-year teacher at Landstreet High School North. I want to walk you through my first day every semester in there. So that first day of school, the kids come in. They come in and sit down by their friends, and the bell rings. And then they're in for it. Because I'll come up to them in there, and I'll be like, all right, I've got a hard question for each and every one of you. Why are you here? And then you can see the look on their face when, why are you here? The first kid will usually say, I don't know. Then there'll be somebody go, it's on my schedule. Good answer, but no. I'll go to another kid, why are you here? And they'll say something like, to get an education. I'm like, great answer, but no. And I go around the room, why are you here? And they'll say, well, to learn. Great answer, but no. And finally, after I've done this a few times, they're like, okay, just tell us, why? And my answer to them is, because you all choose to be here. And they look at me, and there's always one kid. The look on his face is like, oh no, I don't. No. And he'll shake his head. And I'll come up to him and go, wait a minute. I didn't see you kicking and just screaming, being dragged through my door. You made a choice to walk in my room just now. You, each and every one of you, have the power and made a choice. Some of you made a choice because there's a goal you want, be it a high school diploma, eligibility for a sport, to go to college in there. And some of you made a choice just because coming and seeing me is easier than the consequence of mom waking you up, hiding as you try to avoid going to school in the morning. And so I go, all right, let's switch it up a little. Everybody, let's get to know each other. Line up in a circle. Like, okay. They get up, I'm like, alphabetical. By first name. Really throws them for a little loop. They get in this circle in there, and they get in their circle, and we take a paper ball. Everybody put out your hand. Toss the paper ball. As you catch it, say your name. Once you get it, throw it to someone else. Say your name. Simple get to know that happens in every room and every building. So they do this. The trick is they have to remember who they threw it to. Because after they do this, I'll get it back. I got this little paper ball. We go, okay, we're going to do this again. This time I'm going to start my timer. How long does it take you? And we do it, and it goes back around. Usually takes about 80 seconds, 90 seconds in there. Going, okay, so now we have to set a goal. What do you think we could get that down to? And the kids will come up with the number 60 seconds, 70 seconds, 50 seconds. And you know what? Those are all good numbers. But let me set a goal for you. How about 9? And the kids just freeze. They freeze. They're like, that's impossible. I gave you 2 rules. The ball has to be touched in the same order and say your name when you touch the ball. So they quickly realized that I didn't say they had to stay in that same order. So they move around and they get in order and they figure out, hey, we can switch this up. And they move around, they get in order, and they hand the ball one to another. That never works. It takes about 20 seconds to do that. Never works. So now they're like, okay, look, that's a great improvement. But the goal was down. And I asked them, okay, so they talk it out. And every class has always succeeded one of two ways. Either they realize I didn't tell them the first person has to let go. It's still being touched in order. They put out their hand. That first person comes running around the circle. Each time it gets touched in there, they stay their hand. They make it. Or I didn't say the paper ball has to stay together. They rip it up. They hand each person a little bit. They find another way. And we start to brief it. And we talk about it. And I ask them, so, okay, admit it. How many of you thought on this day, first day of spots, mind you, how many of you thought what I told you was impossible? And the hands go up. 9 seconds. Impossible. Welcome to the first day of high school north. You've already accomplished the impossible. You've already done something. You chose to come to my class. You chose to do something that you said was impossible, and you did it. And each and every one of you did it. Now, I tell you this story because every teacher has these get-to-know kind of activities and build this culture in their classroom. It is part of teaching. Build a classroom. Nothing's impossible. It's all your choice. Those are themes that I'm going to use all semester, every day. And the reason I share these stories with you, Board of Education, because that kind of culture building is important. It's important to not only a classroom, but to a school, to a district. We gotta value culture in this district just as much as anything else. And I know we have budget issues in here, but I challenge you. Please remember there's an importance in culture, because that's what makes this place great. And that's what we gotta do. Thank you.
My name is Kristen Carson.
Oh, I see what they're doing.
Resident of Harrison Township.
They're not going in order.
Members of the board, superintendent, thank you for your time today. I want to address the board regarding 2 issues that have been brought to my attention. The first issue is regarding the arrest of a student for murder in one of our high schools. As a parent, demand transparency. How can we be hiding behind FERPA when the crime and surrounding circumstances happened in Detroit, not in our schools? As far as I can read FERPA, it doesn't include a person's criminal record. How does a student who gets arrested in school back in June of 2024 return to school to then get arrested for murder less than a year later? How does the district vet their students?
They don't.
With the current climate in our schools as of late, how are we not doing background checks on our students with disciplinary problems? Are we just waiting for an Oxford school shooting? Or can we finally have some common sense and be proactive with our children's lives and safety? Every one of you board members work for we the people as elected officials, and we the people demand transparency. We the people also demand that our
violating state law.
officials receive all requested information regarding this matter, which is what closed session of the Open Meetings Act is designed for, is it not? The second issue I want to address is the fact that our new superintendent, Mr. Keith Howell, has plans to not sign a document stating that our district is in compliance with the executive order issued by President Trump on January 29, 2025.
Oh, really?
Ending radical indoctrination of K through 12 schooling.
Yes.
The reason he is citing is the partial injunction granted by a federal judge, which was only good in the state of New Hampshire. As
Michigan's order.
Landia McCafferty did not place a nationwide injunction, only an injunction affecting her jurisdiction. By non-compliance, we risk losing federal funding And as a district who finds itself in a $7.6 million deficit, do you plan on taking money away from our children, Mr. Howell? Last year alone, our district received $1.2 million in Title I funds alone. I know you may be new to Title I since you come from the luxurious area of Grosse Pointe, but my son attends a Title I school and the funding is necessary. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but didn't you all just want taxpayers to pick up a tab for a $330 million bond extension?
Oh my
Make
God.
it make sense. When you are willing to forego millions in federal funding, but
Worse than
ask
Chippewa Valley.
taxpayers for
Now
$16
he's laughing about it. Thinks it's funny.
That's not the 10,500
No.
or 10,500
Matthew Carson?
that they approved for MESB.
Oh my God. The worst in Chippewa Valley.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Carson. I'm a person. I wasn't really sure what I was going to say when I got here, but I attended Lance Crew graduated in '94. And I mean, I have a lot of concerns about education and how it's run. I made it through the Lance Crew school system by the grace of God. I was put into special ed classes early on, and it was more like no one wanted to deal with me. I didn't have support at home. I played sports. I was in band. I failed an entire semester of school at Lance, and most of the kids that I went to school with didn't even know me, or I didn't have classes with them, and they didn't even realize it. It was more like a social hour kind of thing. But I see my own son struggling in school, and I am concerned about the funding for teachers and for the school district for extra help in educational classes, because I know I can use it, and especially students that don't have support at home. They go unseen in that area. I moved my family back from the schools, from the Utica schools about 2 years ago, or a little more than 2 years ago. Because I had a great experience with my friends and the social, sports and the culture that was there. But I'm also concerned with security. I served in the United States Navy after high school. And I think that if we see a threat, we need to address it at any level. Our kids are important. All of our community is important. We need to protect them. By any means necessary. And if that's rethinking the security in our school systems, the mental health, background checks. Kids that are and they may need extra help. They may need some different kind of support. There may be something that they're missing at home. The reason why they're acting out, there's got to be something we can do and get ahead of things instead of having like a knee-jerk reaction to an incident that's bound to happen at some point. We all know what's coming. I've been absent basically as being involved as my wife is with our children and their education. I work, I come home. I think it's all taken care of by itself on some level. But I have to be more involved and make a stand and get engaged with my community, with the school, and with the education of my children. I don't know if you want to talk for a couple hours on things, but that's all I got to say about it. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, members of the board and superintendent. My name is Gail Ashburn. I reside at 27659 Cedar Glen, Chesterfield. Tonight I'm proud to speak with you, not just as an employee employee of Lance Creek Public Schools.